Hey everyone, so we are here in Bratislava, Slovakia, of course, and we just got done with several economic briefings today, so I thought that I would talk about those just for a little bit on the video blog here, because it's a subject that on the surface seems a little bit dry, but in reality it really isn't. It's actually really cool what's happening here in Slovakia right now. As all of you know, the entire world, it seems, is in the middle of a huge financial crisis, and that seems to be taking place almost everywhere but here in Slovakia, where the economy is still continuing to grow at an enormous pace. It's slowed down a little bit, but certainly is growing very quickly. And I just want to highlight a few of those points and then talk a little bit about currency here in Slovakia as well. So like I said, the economy is growing very quickly, and it's very strong comparatively, especially for developing nations around the world. And a couple of facts and figures is the GDP here in Slovakia, in comparison with other industrialized nations like the United States, the United Kingdom, and Canada, GDP is over $30,000. That's kind of the floor benchmark there. Here in Slovakia, they fall in the next benchmark category, which is 20 to 30,000 GDP per capita. So it's very strong for a nation of its type, and considering the nations in comparison around it. They lead the world in foreign direct investment at this point in time, which is pretty significant. And to underscore that, if you look at the growth of foreign direct investment from 1998 until 2008, it grew 1,394%. A very significant growth rate. And then more recently, 477% between 2002 and 2007. So foreign direct investment is flocking to Slovakia, especially here in the western side of Slovakia, in the Bratislava area, where unemployment is around 2%. So economic standards, of course, would say that is nearly full unemployment. And they have very stable capital markets as well, which is really significant, as markets such as the United States have lost, as of today, about 50% of their value. Similar in other major world markets, like in Japan, like in the United Kingdom. Not here in Slovakia. They've remained very stable throughout the economic crisis thus far that's been going on for the past several months. And it's really fueled by a extremely cost-effective and educated workforce. It's something that the major corporations that we've been talking to here, corporations like Dell Corporation, like to call a value workforce. So in other words, they get a high return for very little investment. And that's in combination with a region that is very geographically well located. They are here just on the edge of Western Europe. They like to refer to themselves as Central Europe instead of Eastern Europe, some negative connotations, of course, with the term Eastern Europe. So they're right on the edge of Western Europe, have very easy access to markets in Austria, in Germany, and other markets in the rest of Western Europe. It's a very politically stable economy, especially in comparison with where we were just a few days ago over in Hungary and in other developing nations that are in the former communist bloc around the area. Not nearly as much corruption and a little more desire for politicians to really do what needs to be done in the area. As I said, workers are very motivated to improve their lives and to make a better life for themselves, so they work very hard and put in long hours, and again at lower wages than in the surrounding western areas. And there's a very high number of employees between the age of 18 and 70. That said, let's talk about something a little bit more interesting, which is a change in currency that took place just a couple of months ago, the 1st of January of this year, 2009. They got rid of their former currency, which was the crown here in Slovakia. As they're joining the European Union, they're converting to one of the Eurozone currencies, and that, of course, is the euro. And I say one of the Eurozone currencies, actually the Eurozone currency. So we can take a look at that as well. It's very similar to the dollar, which makes it very easy for Western travelers and for those in Western Europe to travel and do business in Western economies. Of course, the euro has other benefits as well. It offers much more stability in currency. There's a lot less risk as well in exchange rates for multinational companies that come in to do business here, because they don't have to worry about rapid devaluation or rapid appreciation of one foreign currency. Rather, they're in a much more reliable consortium of countries that have come together for this one currency, of course, that is called the euro. So we can take a look at it. We're just outside of our hotel. Here you can see there's some traffic behind us, but here we have a 20 euro note, a brand new 20 euro note. Of course, new to this country, not necessarily a new note. The euro's been in circulation for quite some time. And here's the 5 euro note, of course, different in size so that they're easier to identify from the visually impaired. And then also they have coins. Here we can see a 2 euro coin, and then the 50 euro piece, like a 50-cent piece in the United States, and there's a 1 euro coin as well. So the currency very, very similar to that we have in the United States. Similar in value to what we have in the United States as well. Of course, when the euro was first introduced, it was pegged really to be 1-to-1 with the dollar. Lost some value up front and then has strengthened against the dollar significantly in recent years. It's come down off of those highs in light of the financial crisis as interest rates have been cut across Europe to become more in line with those in the United States. It's at about 1.25 euros to the dollar right now. That's expected to continue to fall as the European central banks continue to decrease those interest rates. But it's something that has allowed Slovakia's currency just before this transition in January to increase in value significantly. Their purchasing power has increased significantly in this country, while purchasing power in other countries, in neighboring countries, have currencies that are really in a free fall, like we experienced in Hungary just the other day. Their currency lost about 40% of its value in the last several months. So very, very interesting. It's a very good time for Slovakia, and it's nice to see among a financial crisis like we're experiencing right now.